Welcome back to the Thracia Punishment, a small mini-series where I poorly tell you my experiences with the game and its maps in the worst possible way, because doing a playthrough of this game on the channel would be far too obnoxious for my little brain to handle. It's looking like today is Chapter 5. Let's see what it's all about. Welcome to Chapter 5. Oh my god. The story is getting good, but the map is kind of a fucking slog, and I'm sick and tired of restarting it because Not Bridget can't fucking dodge a 20, and I keep putting Windsweep and Laurel Reef in front of a fucking meteor like a dumbass. Huh, pretty calm, huh? Huh? Skill issue? Man, fuck you! Welcome back to the punishment, and boy am I getting punished today. We arrived back upstairs from the onslaught that was dealing with the Overhear soldiers and armor knights stalking us in the dark. While we're standing there giving the upcoming units death stares and whatnot, Nanny and Not Bridget are back to stare at each other after not being 3 inches away from each other since literally yesterday. It was a truly touching scene. Since we got Nanny back, and even I'm surprised that he didn't lay any more than 10 fingers on her, we don't really know what happened to Marita Stolita since the first chapter. All we're told is that they separated earlier. But, I wonder where she could be. Oh no, fat ass lied? What a twist! It's looking like you added more terms to the free fat-ass subscription plan where the only thing you need to pay is your life and sanity to the 1RN misfest that is Thracia 776. Not only do you have to give up on life, you also have to deal with one of 3 prize triplets given the blessing by Kaga himself to crit anything at will and make the beginning of this luck-based chapter more obnoxious to deal with. With the beginning of an amazing story forward chapter slapped in my face, we create a plan. The plan that works 40% of the time when I play Fire Emblem. Do the same thing, get lucky, and if it doesn't work, well, just give up on life and come back to it tomorrow and repeat the cycle. This is why they call me the bitch fuck of Fire Emblem. So, Chapter 5. Chapter 5 is a pretty complex map for a Fire Emblem early game. It's another escape chapter where everyone has to escape as usual to complete the map. This time around, we have 2 main things to do. Keep Nanny and Not Bridget alive for as long as we can, and unlock the door as soon as possible, but unlock it at the right time. I'll get to these in more detail later. I immediately sent Leaf and Rejects to the bottom to deal with the Armor Knights and Mages while focusing on the main threat that is keeping Not Bridget and Nanny alive. But before that, a word from our sponsors at Sword Corp. Meet Nanny. She's your Nana, and she ain't getting stronger anytime soon. One could say that she was okay in another timeline, but now she's kinda just fucking trash. Nana is like Mary and Karen in the way that they both refuse to get this beautiful thing called strength. Damn it! While she was okay in Genealogy to Holy War and had some use there, even if it was chip damage, here, chip damage is an understatement. She will barely do any, if any at all, damage. Man, I'll think about giving her the Hazel Scroll, but I'm not counting on that helping her. She comes with an Earth Sword and a heal, and outside of missing heals all damn day, her one redeeming factor is she refuses to get strength is that her Earth Sword carries. Now thankfully it's 60 uses in this game instead of fucking 10 like it was in the last game, so I think it's okay to go crazy with it. If she turns out good, then I may go back on my word and break out a Hammer'n or something, but for now, she'll just be an extra healer and ranged attacker. And boy did we need another healer. Not just another healer, but another person with a ranged sword I can abuse, because those stalkers in the dark ate up nearly all my uses. But at the very least, if Nan ends up being trash, she is at least another healer in our arsenal of rejects. Didn't I already foreshadow that? And based on another stupid ass mechanic we'll encounter later on down the line after this, there's nothing wrong with another healer in the ranks. That is, if she could fucking hit her heal. Now that we've evaluated the reject, back to this stupid ass map. So in the stadium, we have 3 units that mostly have some deadly weapon that will demolish Nanny and even Not Bridget if she doesn't understand what it's like to dodge a small ass percentage. And that's the fun part. Here's the complicated part of this map for me. The beginning of this is mostly up to luck, I swear. Because I keep dying and it's not my fault. My goal here is to primarily keep Nanny alive while praying that Not Bridget can stave off all the pit fighters in time for me to open the door. I'll get to the door opening part soon enough. The problem is that she'll either kill too early or die to something that is probably out of my control. Now thankfully the dying part really happens to me, but I just wanted to bring it up because it's a possibility. Now you're probably not wondering, well, you were ordered to kill the pit fighter, shouldn't that like be a good thing? Yes. Yes it is. But If she kills too early, a certain somebody comes out and becomes a pain to deal with. We'll get to that later too. On top of that, I also have to worry about taking too long to open a door. If I take way too long, reinforcements will come out with more deadly weapons alongside another threat that I won't end up getting to until much later if I take a millennium to get through this. I start by sending Nanny to the right out of the Armor Knight's range while putting Not Bridget a space behind her to attract the Armor Knight. Before we can see what funny shenanigans happen, it's looking like Birdo is here to complain about the same thing I've been complaining about this entire game. Boredom. And why it exists, don't forget that one. He's just here to question its existence while also wondering why this man called him here to watch an amnesiac swordmaster get credit for fun. I guess he just wants to see how much of a threat she actually is, because I don't really understand why he's having to fight the 3 edgies outside of showing everyone how much of a snarky bitch he is. Let me show you a beautiful start to this map. Beautiful. It'd be a real shame if she missed it. What the fuck? I created this ass, but still, what the fuck? Meanwhile, at the bottom, I can't dodge shit. I should have already gotten used to it, but I forgot I was playing this beautiful game called Thracia. Since Sleep was going to be in the front and probably farther than anyone else for the time being, I figured it was best to get that problem out of the way and have him be the one to be paranoid about figuring out when to open that damn door. After that, I barbecued some Armor Knights and mugged some Scholars for a useless fire tone that'll probably never end up using. Alright, get out the clear. Since we killed one of the edgies, Fat Ass decides to give her the reward that almost every mother hopes to have in their life. A child! Well, almost all of them. But something's wrong. She's been playing a little too much Kingdom Hearts. But no, seriously here, come on now. This is some pretty good storytelling here. Maritas here has been corrupted by the Shadow Sword. Or the Darkness Sword. I really don't know anymore. And the only instinct she knows now is to kill everything in sight. Badass caught her trying to play 4D chess and escape only for him to give her a sword that makes her go ballistic. It's kinda fucked up, man. It pretty much highlights just how heartless this piece of shit actually is. But anyway, we got a huge problem on our hands. Since I killed far earlier than I would have liked, Miss Deletus herself is in the fray to fuck shit up and ruin runs. Not only that, but a quadruplet also comes out to make things worse. So back to the thing about the door. Maritas is out, we know that much, so let's talk about her. She's got the Shadow Sword, and is a fucking threat. She could attack multiple times and will probably crit us to the point that close calls will be the #1 thing we'll be experiencing until I open this damn door. And in the event they somehow end up killing Not Bridget over there, some bullshit will happen and Nanny will be all alone to probably die from getting critted or downright one-shotted because this game hates everyone. Which brings us back to the door bullshit. I didn't want to open the door until it was safe for me to do so. Which is strange because I wanted to get there as soon as possible. So here's why I waited to open that door. Every enemy that's in there other than Birdo, Maritas, and Fat Ass over there don't despawn after opening that door. Which means that they'll charge after our asses. So even if I were to open it early, I'd have to worry about whether the one who opened the door, which in this case is our son, would survive a hit or two against these idiots. And looking at their weapons, I might get critted by one. But thankfully I'm able to mitigate that since the scrolls prevent you from getting critted. Another issue I have to watch out for are those fucking flocks of mages advancing towards us. From the moment you start the map, they immediately speedrun themselves to you with another one late to the job, and if you take too long to get to that door, they'll make things more obnoxious. A bit much, right? Too bad that we have the rest of this slow map to get through after this onslaught. Back to the advancement, I forgot to give the life ring to our Lord and Savior Asbel. He'll need the extra HP far more than half of the idiots in this goddamn party so far, and it'll help later on in the game when they throw bosses that do sizable amounts of damage to us. After critting one of the edgies and having the other edgy run away in fear after getting sliced and diced alongside the mage that I mugged trying to get away in order to put a restraining order on me, Fat Ass is wondering why Miss Deletus is struggling to kill her mom when she literally hasn't even done anything to me yet. Remember those words in a bit. This entire conversation with Birdo pretty much highlights just how much of a piece of shit Fat Ass actually is, since he's too stupid to notice the tears of a woman trying to fight back against a cursed blade from taking over her and killing her mother. It's pretty ironic coming from the man who's part of a cult that sacrifices children. I gotta say, as much as I hate this game, its storytelling is pretty beautiful. Okay, back to shit talking. After sending my son and pals to deal with the last battalion of soldiers and armor knights, I get a taste of how crazy Deletus actually is as she crits me and nearly deletes me. Let's hope I can hurry up and open that door in a few turns. Meanwhile, on my son's side, something is wrong. I immediately noticed that Leaf is struggling to barely hit a fucking soldier, one of the worst unit types in the series. Maybe? And I look at his stats and wonder where I fucked up in the parenting department. This is where I threw in the towel, and noticed that Leaf is going to blow some ass this playthrough. The reason why he has such a low chance to hit was because he has 4 skill. Let that sink in. 4 skill. 4 fucking skill? Now usually skill is something that all my Leafs struggle with, but this is a first. I got screwed here. Never in any playthrough have I ever had a Leaf that didn't have at least 7 or 8 skill at level 12. Since the Ball Skull honestly sucks ass and isn't helping my son at all, the only thing I can think of giving him is the Old Skull. But that's in the next uninteresting chapter. I gotta tough this one out to get that, and I normally don't even use the Old Skull, because everyone else aside from a few rejects never struggle with skill. But I digress, because it's probably just Kaga's black sorcery that's messing with me after having the most unlucky start to one of the first few complex chapters the game has to offer. Since I'm going to need these pre-promoted units out of the way when I open the door, I start sending Asbel and Fergus to fuck up the edgelord behind Deletus and get a cash money level up from my troubles. With most of the main threats of the pre-promoted units out of the way... Oh look! A Berserker! Thanks, game! Oh, and Windsweep almost died again because I'm a dumb fuck. Thankfully, he can offset being blind by blinding others. After dealing with as many overhear soldiers as I could, I went back on my word and decided to have the Twitch streamer himself open up the door for more options to my strategy for going about this map. Whatever that is. Now that the door has been unlocked, Nanny is back with us, while Not Bridget is here dying on the floor apparently. But as great as this reunion is, Badass is here to be a bitch, and ruin any fun we could have had. Because a little boy suddenly come out of the door, Badass is panicking and orders the adjutants to kill all of us. But since Birdo knows that half of them are dead on the floor, he uses the power of the Triforce to turn Not Bridget into stone. Awesome! And there's nothing we can do about it, nor am I getting her back. Well, at least until I got in chapter right before the final chapter, but I'm not doing that for this run because I have a life and this chapter sucks ass. Deal with it! I gotta really love how smug Fat Ass actually is here. Saying he has this great statue and Birdo was the one who rectified his fuck up. Imagine taking all the credit. Too bad he doesn't realize that some of us are going to grow up in 17 chapters from now and fuck him up. They grow up so fast, even if they're honestly the biggest fuck-ups next to Alm's Party and Gaiden. So while Not Bridget is high over there, I guess her son has nothing to say, and Maritas, Birdo, and Fatass all warp away from the castle to sit back with popcorn as we struggle to deal with the remaining edgies in the room that didn't get VIP access to Fatass's movie theater. Sad times. After Darkness credited the soldier as his greatest accomplishment and Merritt still proving my point that she's still trash, we start the journey of dealing with the last couple of edgies looking for solace in their lives. So remember those mages that I poorly tried strategizing for? It's looking like they're here to cook me with those 1 RN spices today, and god, they couldn't have been any more annoying to deal with. These idiots came in right when I was preparing to deal with the last few edgelords in the arena. Some of them have fires while the others have thunders. Since we don't know what dodging or resistance is, just a few of these would kill some of the lower leveled units in the party that don't have a lot of HP or avoidance to begin with. Not that avoiding things happens often anyway. So I took a bit of a risk here to bank on the fact that my son or someone else would be able to dodge the promoting idiot coming towards me while also dealing with these mages that'll be the death of me. I was able to take out the beta male with an iron axe, but Asbel can't seem to hit anything when it matters, so we're going to be here for a while. At least this is a good chance to point out that Fergus turned out really good in these first few chapters I've got him. If only the others understood what that's like. After Marin got a taste of what the others can't seem to do, the mages are here along with one soldier who poked Marin because she sucks at almost everything. I had Asbel and Fergus double team the Killager over there for some cash money EXP, and our little Fergus is almost grown up. Just look at those okay stats. He might as well be the older brother of the family. In some fucked up way, he's practically able to take on the rest of this game. Too bad everyone hates me. I can't wait to babysit the others for the next 15 plus chapters from now. Maybe Asbel and Pals could learn something from him. After Nanny gets no stress, my son can't dodge a 19 and still won't get skill. What the fuck? After mugging a thunder and witnessing the only good level of darkness we'll ever get in this entire playthrough, the rest of this map is a much needed breeze from all the bullshit that just happened. After kidnapping a bishop and mugging them for an extra heal that I never seem to run out of, we have some upcoming archers and a mid-boss who kinda goes down like a bitch. They all have vulneraries and I mugged a few of them, but they all went down like a bitch to my son's light brand. The boss, though, is kind of just there. He has a longbow and almost fucked up Nanny with it. And I would say that's a great accomplishment, but you can do that to nearly anyone in this game. Anyway, he got fucked up, and it must have spread to my son because he still doesn't know what a good level up is. With the archers and a mage who woke up on the wrong side of the bed, we approach the last stretch of the map. Another batch of soldiers! What a unique concept, Daddy. I always knew you were planning all this out in your dreams. But wait, something isn't right here. Why do I feel extremely hot all of a sudden? Damn, another meteor? And so soon, too! It'd be a real shame if we saw them again for the next few chapters. Man, what a unique concept, Kaga! Honestly, these units aren't really a problem here. The only problem they had was biting off my light brand's durability. Eesh. The master escape sequence sucks. The meteor is kinda just there, and the soldiers all have javelins. That's something. Not only does this game have a fetish for soldiers, but it also loves giving them javelins for some reason. I'll get used to it, don't worry. On the meteor side of things, it'll do a sizable amount of damage and will probably kill the streamer and rag over there in one hit if they can't dodge. But I bet they can't because dodging in this game is a foreign concept. After I mugged him and took his meteor tome that I'm going to sell because it's pretty much useless to me at the moment, Asbel won't be able to use it for a while, and even then, a few uses isn't really worth it for what I'm about to experience in this deranged game. I'll get to the selling part when our first battle preparations come in. After enjoying Nanny being great before she inevitably falls off the cliff that is Thracia since she can't get a good level up, it's time for the last part of this map. We got a few battalion of mages alongside a pretty threatening sniper with 2 dark bishops waiting to pop off when they land a free crit and poison. Can't wait to fuck that part up. Sending my son and pals down the corridor against 2 blind mages and a snippety clipper who also can't see, I struggle to kill because Leaf is blind and Asbel has to cover for him. Can't wait to see this be a reoccurring thing in the game. Anyway, the fun part. The bitch just said I can't win a single game of Poison Uno wit. I was an idiot here and thought it would be a brilliant idea for me to send my son up against the Kingdom Hearts fanboys only for me to not be surprised that I didn't dodge the percentage of the world's most obnoxious lady. I was in a panic here, trying everything I could to kill this guy and it just was not working out. Big Brother was over here doing 2 damage. Nanny just sucks and Asbel isn't old enough to earn the title of God in the orphanage today. Let's see how I pay for my insolence today. Don't gamble, kids, even if it's 80% off. Why the fuck does Asbel keep getting stripped? The chest that I just got just had a skill ring? Thank God. My son needed that. Oh, and I got another lockpick. That's... It's kinda ironic, I'm not gonna lie. You use a lockpick to get another lockpick. What the fuck, Kaka? I think there's a con ring in the chest at the bottom, but I never get it because of the simple answer. Nobody cares. Let's just get out of this long map, man. There isn't really any banter at the end of this chapter this time around either, but there's a pretty cute dialogue with Leaf vowing to come back for not Bridget one day when he's stronger. It'd be cool if I didn't skip it. Next time, we have a chapter on our hands. Let's just hope I don't fall asleep through it.